Welcome. In this presentation, we're diving into the basics of using HTML with JavaScript. We'll explore how to add JavaScript to your HTML code to create interactive web pages. HTML, or hypertext markup language, provides the structure of the page, and JavaScript adds dynamic behavior. We'll cover different methods of integrating JavaScript, document object model manipulation, event handling, and some best practices to get you started. There are three main ways to add JavaScript to your HTML documents. The first way is inline JavaScript. This involves adding JavaScript code directly within HTML elements using event attributes, such as onClick. An example of this could be a button element with onClick equals alert, with the message Hello World. This method is simple, but it is not recommended for complex code. The second way is internal JavaScript. This involves including JavaScript code within script tags inside your HTML document. These script tags are typically placed in the head section or just before the closing body tag. Inside these script tags, you can write standard JavaScript code. The third, and often preferred, method is using external JavaScript files. In this approach, JavaScript code is stored in separate files with the .js extension. These files are then linked to your HTML document using the script tag, with the source attribute pointing to the JavaScript file. This can be placed inside the head section or just before the closing body tag. Storing JavaScript in external files offers several advantages. These include separation of concerns, better code organization, improved caching, and reusability across multiple pages. The placement of your JavaScript code within an HTML document can affect how it runs. Placing JavaScript in the head section means the code will run before the HTML content is loaded. This can sometimes cause issues if your script tries to access document object model elements that haven't been created yet. Placing your JavaScript code just before the closing body tag ensures that all HTML elements have been loaded before the script runs. This is the recommended approach, as it avoids potential errors caused by trying to manipulate elements that don't yet exist. Modern web development offers more control over how external JavaScript files are loaded, using the async and defer attributes. A regular script without these attributes blocks HTML parsing while it downloads and executes. The async attribute allows the script to download in parallel with HTML parsing and executes the script as soon as it's downloaded. The order is not guaranteed. This is good for independent scripts like analytics. The defer attribute also allows the script to download in parallel, but it waits until the HTML is fully parsed before executing. It maintains the order of execution, making it best for most scripts. Document object model, or DOM manipulation, involves using JavaScript to interact with and modify the elements on an HTML page. One of the first steps is selecting the elements you want to work with. Common ways to select document object model elements include using getElementById to select an element by its ID, getElementsByClassName to select all elements with a specific class name, getElementsByTagName to select all elements of a particular tag, and querySelector and querySelectorAll, which use CSS selectors to find elements. Once you've selected elements, you can modify them by changing their text content, HTML content, attributes such as source and ID, and even their styles like color and font size. Event handling in JavaScript involves responding to actions or events that occur in a web browser. A common way to handle events is by adding event listeners to elements. You can select an element, and then use the addEventListener method to specify an event, like click, and a function to run when that event occurs. Common event types include mouse events like click, mouse over, and mouse out, keyboard events like key down and key up, and form events like submit and change. By listening for these events, you can make your web page interactive and respond to user input. Let's look at a complete JavaScript example that brings together HTML and JavaScript for interactive form validation. In this example, we have a simple form with a username input field and a submit button. The JavaScript code waits for the document object model to be fully loaded, and then selects the form, username input, and an error message element. It then adds an event listener to the form that listens for the submit event. When the form is submitted, the code checks if the username is less than 3 characters long. If it is, the code prevents the form from submitting and displays an error message. Following JavaScript best practices can lead to more organized, efficient, and maintainable code. For code organization, it's best to use external files to keep JavaScript separate from HTML, improving organization and caching. Load scripts at the end of the body, or use defer to improve page loading. Use modern JavaScript features like arrow functions and template literals. Add comments to explain complex logic. For performance and maintainability, avoid global variables. Use event delegation to handle events on multiple elements efficiently. Minimize document object model manipulation to reduce reflows and repaints, and use modern application programming interfaces like fetch and query selector. To continue your JavaScript journey, here are some further learning resources. For official documentation and references, check out the MDN web docs, javascript.info, and W3 Schools. For interactive learning, try Free Code Camp, Code Academy, and Frontend Mentor. To explore advanced topics, research JavaScript frameworks, asynchronous JavaScript, and web application programming interfaces. Thank you. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.